Welcome to the most disliked show on YouTube.
Leave Benny alone!
A show that I really like, I subscribe to on YouTube, the Jimmy Dore Show, the great one, talking about the corruption in the Democratic Party. Take it away, Jimmy.
And this is what this article is about in The Intercept by Ryan Grimm and Lee Fang, or Fong, I don't know how you pronounce his last name. The dead enders, candidates who signed up to battle Donald Trump, must get past the Democratic Party first. So we know that the Democratic Party, they focus on money. So if you want to run for Congress and you said you want to run as a Democrat and the DCCC, the first question they'll ask is how much money can you raise? How much money do you have? Where can you get money from? That's all they care about. There's a couple of reasons for that. I think the biggest reason is because they're in bed with their own consultants and they want you to get that money and give it to them because that's all they think about. So this is the Democrats' strategy now is people are going to vote for us because they hate Trump and the Republicans, even though we're just like the Republicans. They just caved into them twice again this 1 week. 1 week they just caved into them. And why did the Democrats cave into the Republicans over the budget deal and DACA? Because their donors told them to. Because the Democrats don't represent you at all. Because winners write history, the strategy has become conventionally accepted as wisdom worth following. The conventionally accepted as that wisdom being get people with a lot of money to run. That's the wisdom they're talking about. But if you take a closer look at the races themselves, they suggest that the DCCC was flying blind. So let's look at some of those. So even though they won because of the blue wave in 2006, they had a lot of failures because of that stupid strategy. They won in spite of that stupid strategy, not because of it. And let's take a look at it. They go, for instance, in California, the DCCC backed Steve Filson, a conservative pilot, against Jerry McNerney, who Emanuel believed was hopelessly liberal. After McNerney beat him in the primary, a peeved Rahm Emanuel said the DCCC wouldn't be helping him in the general. So this guy who's actually progressive beats the guy who's not, the conservative pilot who Rahm Emanuel liked because he's conservative and he has a lot of money. So he beats him in the primary. Rahm Emanuel's like, I'm not helping you. Screw you. Not helping you in the general. And guess what? A coalition of environmental groups got behind him instead, and he won anyway. Here's another case in upstate New York. Rahm Emanuel went with Judy Edelot, a former Republican who was a tremendous fundraiser. She was crushed by environmentalist and musician John Hall, after which the DCCC shunned the race as unwinnable. Hall won. Specific about why it wants candidates to raise money. And here's what he says. You want to know why the DCCC wants candidates to raise a lot of money? He says they want you to spend a certain amount of money on consultants. And it's their list of consultants that you have to choose from. Those consultants tend to be DCCC veterans. A memo the party committee sent to candidates in December lays out some of the demands the DCCC made around spending. We already covered that memo they sent to the candidates running in the Democratic primaries. They said, don't say anything that will hurt the Democrat in the general. Well, how are you supposed to run in a primary if you can't actually run against the guy? And single-payer health care that are staunchly opposed by the blue dog wing of the party. Let's get a little of this. The blue dogs, which you know what the blue dogs are. The blue dogs are Republicans who like to pretend I don't know why, they're Republicans who are cool with abortion.
Some of them might have a gay friend.
Some of them might have a gay friend, yeah. Operatives from the DCCC met on a weekly basis with the Blue Dogs to discuss recruitment and how to best steer resources to a growing slate of centrist Democratic candidates.
Why do I need to consult with the Blue Dogs on the progress of the Democratic Party? How? Of course they came up with this.
This is amazing. This is exactly why you shouldn't have voted for Hillary Clinton. This is exactly why you should never vote for a corporate Democrat. This is exactly why. Because they don't represent you. That's why. And they're going to give you more. And they learn nothing from losing to Trump. You're upset about Trump. They're not really upset about Trump. The Democrats are not that upset about Trump. I know that sounds funny. They're not. The DCCC recognizes that the path to the majority is through the Blue Dogs. Representative Kirsten Sinema, a Democrat from Arizona, chair of the Blue Dog PAC, told Politico.
Okay.
But there's more than one way to raise big money. Get this is a great example. So this Jess King, a DCCC official, said that the Pennsylvanian Jess King wasn't invited to candidate week in Washington because Jess King's campaign had not been in close touch with the national party, and that party's support is a two-way street. So they're saying, well, she's not supporting us, so she's a progressive. That's why they don't want her. And so guess what she did? But by the party's favorite metric, fundraising, going it alone hasn't hurt Jess King. In the fourth quarter of 2017, relying on small donors, Jess King added another $200,000 to her war chest, bringing her above $300,000 for the first year. That's pretty good, doing it with small donors, without the DCCC's help. Her fundraising broke a record last year held by Christina Hartman, who was a corporate Democrat who beat Jess King last year. Now, Jess King, as a progressive doing small donations, is out fundraising their biggest corporate fundraiser. Whoa. So their stupid strategy is being repudiated right in their fucking face, and they don't care. You have to understand that it's not like the DCCC is like, well, I think this is the best way to win. They're like, this is the way we want to win. I do not want to win with progressives. You know the saying. You know it's the truism that the Democrats would rather lose to a Republican than win with a progressive. So this isn't their idea of the best way to win, because the best way to win would be to ape Bernie Sanders' program and his platform, because it's the most popular platform. He's the most popular politician in the country. You would just want a bunch of Bernie Sanders. They don't want not even one. The DCCC. So let's look at some of the races this year. Like in California District 50, Amar Campa-Najjar had his moment in the viral sun earlier last year as the internet celebrated the hotness of this congressional candidate. He has since won the backing of the Justice Democrats and a slew of local labor and Democratic groups. His opponent, Josh Butner, has said that he was not recruited by the DCCC, but he was encouraged to run by local Democrats. The new Democratic coalition PAC, the pro-Wall Street wing of the House Democrats, has given that guy, Butler, $5,000. Butner was cited in 2 articles about the party's ability to recruit veterans. The DCCC made sure to alert reporters about the coverage, issuing a press release. So they're, again, working against the progressive, working for the conservative. Pro-Wall Street Democrat. That's who the Democrats are. And again, it's not because they think he has the best chance of winning. It's because they don't want to win any other way. A win with a progressive is a loss for the DCCC. You get that, right? Because they want to win for Wall Street, not for you. It's becoming, even in the era of Trump, they're still doing this. They don't care. They don't care if they keep losing as long as progressives don't win. And why? Because their donors want it that way. Who's their donors? Wall Street. Big Pharma. the military-industrial complex, and big oil. That's it. I don't want to assume foul play from the party, but there have been people suggesting they're tipping the scales, says Campanajjar. You think? You think they're tipping the scales? He said that on January 27th when the district does its pre-endorsement voting. He said that on January 27th when the district does its pre-endorsement voting, he hopes to win the votes of those delegates by a wide margin to send a message. But that message will not be received by the DCCC. The message that, hey, you guys should support progressives, that will never be received. I'll throw it over to my panel.
Well, this is one of the reasons that I think the Democrats are kind of broken beyond repair and a new third party is needed, because this group in principle and as far as the voters are concerned, they are already an obsolete gatekeeper. If we had a viable, contendable third party, they would be a complete obsolete gatekeeper and we'd never have to worry about the DCCC ever again.
We've had this conversation a lot. You know, it's like the Democrats are just there to be an obstacle for progress. Where's the progressive candidates that they're championing? The DCCC.
No, that's Steph. That's the hope. That's what we're saying.
Well, and I just want to paraphrase one of my favorite Twitter parody accounts, Peter Douche. Keep in mind that Bernie's platform and his ideas just represent the fringe group of the majority of Democrats.
Yes.
You know, and that's the truth.
Right.
So your government's broken, your Democratic, you know why? Because your Democratic Party's broken. Why? Because Bill Clinton and Al Gore decided to get in bed with the people they're supposed to be fighting against, which is Wall Street, Big Pharma, the military-industrial complex, and big oil. Those are the people you're supposed to be fighting. You can't be fighting for Wall Street and fighting for workers. Their agendas are diametrically opposed. And this is an economy that's run by the banks. And this is how it ends up. Income inequality is bigger since the Middle Ages. Middle Ages. So it should be a huge blue wave. It still might be a blue wave, but we're going to get a bunch of goddamn corporate Democrats. And you see what happened this week? The Democrats caved in twice to Donald Trump on the budget. Twice. They have DACA, which is favored by 9 out of 10 people in the country. 9 out of 10. The Democrats rolled over, gave up 90% of the country. They didn't stand up for 90% of the country. It's sad. It's worse than sad. It's a crisis. Like I say one or two more elections like this with corporate Democrats and there will be real revolution. How much more can people take? I don't know. Again, 63% of the country can't afford a $1,000 emergency. 50% of all the people in the United States are poor or low income. 50% of all wage earners earn less than $30,000 a year. This is what we're left with. This is because, and there we go. Democrats are like, ignore it. Ignore it. Let's keep doing the bidding of Wall Street. Let's not help people ever. And by the way, let's keep spending money on the military because all the money it would have taken to send everybody to college for free, the Democrats gave it to the military. They gave it no fight, no nothing, not even a debate. Whew. So all I can ask you, we get emails every day of people telling us that they're unsubscribed from our show and they thought we were joking. So please make sure you're subscribed. And then click that bell so you'll get a notice when we drop a video. They don't always notify you, but we have to try. We have to fight back against the bastards. Come to our live show, March 25th in Austin, Texas, February 16th in Burbank, California, or become a patron. Thanks for your support.
All right, this is my annual fundraising drive. Now, if you enjoy the content here, chip in $1, just $1. That's all I ask. $1. You can give whatever you want, but please do $1. Is it fair? Is it fair that guys like Charlie Rose get money, but not me? Let me quit this job.
Contribute on the About screen of the channel by clicking on the PayPal button. Please remember to subscribe and hit the dislike button at the bottom of the page.